I said my niggas don't dance, we just pull up our pants and do the rock away. A lean back, a lean back. Right now we're putting the Diddy trial on the back burner because we have Fat Joe being sued for $20 million by former hype man in explosive complaint. Alleges rapper engaged in X acts with minors and coerced him into more than 4,000 X acts to maintain his standing within Terror Squad. Now this is against Fat Joe. And it kind of sounds similar to what Diddy has going on, and we're going to jump into this article and break it down. It is a 157-page complaint. We won't be going over the 157 pages, but we'll go over the main parts of this, and we'll be keeping an update on this following the Diddy trial. I'm Mo.J. This is the Mo You Know. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump into this article of Fat Joe being sued for $20 million by his former hype man. This lawsuit comes after the rapper sued T.A. Dixon in April for slandering him on social media by claiming that Fat Joe flew out an under 17-year-old girl across state lines for sex. Now, this is a sensitive subject for YouTube, so I'm going to try to make this as clean as possible, but go into all of the details. Fat Joe's former hype man, Terrence T.A. Dixon, has filed an explosive lawsuit in federal court against the rapper on Thursday. Dixon is alleging that his former boss, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartina, engaged in coercive labor, exploitation, and financial fraud, manipulation, violent intimidation, psychological coercion. Dixon adds that the hip-hop star behind such chart toppers as What's Love with Ashanti, What's Love, got rich and famous while he and his associates deliberately suppressed, silenced, and erased Dixon's substantial creative, artistic, and commercial contributions, which were foundational to Fat Joe's professional success and personal brand. He is seeking up to $20 million in damages. The complaint is filed in the U.S. District Court, Southern District of New York. Details of so many disturbing claims about Fat Joe's alleged ex-relationships with women include underage, that it contains a trigger warning on the first page of the 157-page document. Now, this is the same courthouse that Diddy is in, the same courthouse that R. Kelly went through, and New York doesn't play around, and it's a federal case. For 16 years, Dixon served as Fat Joe's so-called hype man, a common figure in hip hop who supports the artist by energizing the crowd and enhances the overall performance. He also contributed as a lyricist and background vocalist on such hits such as Congratulations, Ice Cream, and Money Over Bees. According to the complaint, he had an unrivaled vantage point to observe the rapper's offstage lifestyle and behavior. Now, of course, I always say go to the police first. But this is your story. This is your life. You do what you want to do. And if you want to bring it to court, so be it. This is your story. We'll see it play out in court. But I always say, and if you listen to this now, go to the police first. If you see something wrong, go report it. Dixon is represented by Tyrone Blackburn. We heard that name multiple times. He's in multiple lawsuits, who is also the lead counsel in a high-profile case against Sean Diddy Combs. In February of 24, Blackburn filed a lawsuit on behalf of Diddy's accuser, Little Rodney, alleging ex-assault and ex-harassment. So that's a huge lawsuit there that we're waiting until the Cassie and Diddy trial is over with. Well, it's really Diddy's federal RICO trial. Cassie's not on trial. But after that, it looks like Tyrone Blackburn got the Little Rodney case, and then we got this case. And failure to pay him is underlying. 1 month later, Department of Homeland Security agents conducted raids at Diddy's mansion in Los Angeles, Miami. So they're just tying all of this in so you can get an understanding of how big this potentially is going to turn out to be, because there are RICO-like charges with the trafficking and the minor type. Dixon states in a complaint that Fat Joe forced him into humiliating situations, including X acts performed under duress, and surveillance accompanied by threats of abandonment in foreign countries if he refused to comply. By his own estimation, Dixon states that in the suit, he was coerced into more than 4,000 X acts to maintain his standing within the enterprise. Now, we can't treat him no different than we treat the women, because under the court of law, everyone should be treated fairly. But just like I say for women, it's the same I say for men. You should go report anything that you see is illegal, or if you feel like you're being mistreated. Now, again, I'm not saying this happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but this is his story and he wants to bring it to court. So be it. The most shocking thing in this lawsuit, it says that Dixon personally witnessed Fat Joe engage in X relations with the underage who were 15 to 16 years old and lists three such Jane Does, including a 16-year-old Dominican girl in New York who, in exchange for cash, clothing, and payment for her cell phone bill, will perform oral and give X acts on the rapper. Minor Doe 2 is a Caucasian female and not a United States citizen. Fat Joe began having relations with this Doe number 2 when she was 15 after a concert overseas. Defendant flew Minor 2 to New York City and Miami, Florida on multiple occasions. Due to Minor 2's body being adolescent and not fully formed, the defendant paid for her to get a Brazilian butt lift, or a BBL. Doe number 2 eventually left the defendant and is now married to a professional athlete. The complaint says Doe number 3 is a Latina female who met the defendant when she was 15 or 16 years old. According to Dixon, Fat Joe was in love with Doe number 3. He even contemplated leaving his wife. The defendant paid all of Doe 3's bills and even took her overseas on tour. He brought her to Florida and would put her up in a condo he rented a few blocks away from his house with his wife, the lawsuit states. In a recorded conversation, Doe 3 and her 15-year-old cousin described in detail to plaintiff how inappropriate it was for the defendant, who was in his late 30s at the time, to be fawning over children. This legal filing does list Fat Joe's criminal enterprise and his associates asserting civil claims for violation of Trafficking Victims Protection Act and the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, also known as the RICO, as well as violations under New York and Florida law, including unjust enrichment, quantum merit, fraudulent concealment, fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and money laundering. Now, Roc Nation was listed in here, but they're not saying that they did anything. They just said they got rich off of Fat Joe's tours, which they're alleging Fat Joe was bringing these Doe 2 and 3 on the road with him. So we'll see how this plays out, but let me know what you think about it. Again, everything that we just read is all alleged. He will have his day in court unless they settle out of court. Let me know what you think about this situation. I don't know what to believe in 2025 anymore. These guys, they could be doing this, and think about it. All of this dates back years, decades. But some crimes, they don't have a statute of limitation. Some crimes they do, and some of them are getting extended out. But I'm Mo.J. This is the Mo You Know. This is Fat Joe getting sued for $20 million. Let me know your thought. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I think we need 80 subscribers, and we'll have 1,000 over on this channel. You guys have a happy Juneteenth, and stay out of trouble. I'm out.